y'all, and good morning. Happy Friday, September 20th. My name is Alicia. I'm the Fanciful Flamingo, and I'm back to FlossTube. This is actually my 2-year anniversary of FlossTube because I started it 2 years ago on my birthday. I have taken a little bit of a hiatus, which is why you haven't seen me around lately, but hopefully I will be back now that everybody's settled in school and just back to our routines. So welcome. I've missed y'all, and if you're joining me again, thank you so much, and thank you for all the kind words and these last several months and telling me that you miss me and that you hope I'd come back, because you have no idea how much that means to me. I just love this community and all of just the sweet people. If you're new to my channel, I do start each one of my floss tubes with prayer and praise, and I say this all the time. I am not worried about denominations and religions. If you don't pray, that's all right. We could all use a kind thought, a good word. I would like to pray for everyone that was affected recently by the hurricane that came up the Gulf, went through Louisiana. Not as strong as they thought, but still a lot of damage. There's also been crazy amounts of rain up the East Coast. I saw a lot of flooding in coastal North Carolina, so we want to pray for them. We are no strangers to the rain here in South Florida. It has rained every single day in September, and I don't mean the little afternoon little puddles. I mean severe thunderstorms every day, and it's king tides, so it's already high tide down here. But let's keep all of those in our prayers. I'd also like to pray for the families of the victims of yet another school shooting in Georgia a few weeks ago as well. Praise to all of the kids going back to school. Bless those little teachers' hearts. Let's pray for them. My son started 9th grade this year. He is in high school. Pray for this mama. My daughter is in her junior year, taking accounting and financing courses, and if you watched me last year, she came to work with me with the Fanciful Flamingo, but this year she's gone to work at her dad's office in the accounting department, which is fantastic. She is loving it. She's doing what she needs to do, but this mama's alone with 3 dogs that I didn't ask for all day. So that is a little bit of a transition for me. And we'll talk about that a little bit in our chit chat a little bit later, because y'all know I love to chit chat with y'all. My backdrop is a little different. I have been doing What's in Your Hoop a lot this summer, and I started sitting here in my stitchy spot in my craft room, and quite frankly, y'all know I just love to chit chat and talk with everybody. I am a talker. So I decided that I was going to break away from always filming at my desk like I'm some kind of teacher, and sit in my chair just like we were just two friends sitting in front of each other and talking. Everybody asked me about this quilt. This quilt was given to me by Nettie, mama of Primrose Cottage. I don't know what pattern it is or anything like that. I wish I could give y'all information. I get asked a lot about my printer box. I found it at a VHW yard sale. It has threads on the bottom and thimbles on the top. This is a Teresa Koga, and I'll be switching this out from time to time. But Kim, Inspired Needleworker, motivated me, challenged me. I'm not gonna lie, I coveted her wall forever. And so I am making my own little wall of things that I have finished, which delights my husband, because I'm only putting holes in the wall in this room instead of all over the house. So I would say nothing's new, but it seems like there should be a lot of new things since I haven't filmed since April. We did have our, Annie and I did host our first retreat, Stitch Florida 2024, at the end of July. And I don't know about anybody else, but I had a rip-roaring good time, and I didn't want it to end. And I did sleep all the way home and for like 24 hours after it was over, but I just could have kept going. I didn't want anybody to leave. I just loved all the fellowship in that room. We are doing it again, Stitch Florida 2025, next September, exactly a year from this weekend. It is sold out, and there is a wait list. But we are excited to do that one again in Orlando, but this time in Altamonte Springs. So we did that this summer. My family and I ended up not traveling because I did get quite a lot sick before the retreat. I mean, it was just May. I had pneumonia, recovering from pneumonia. I got COVID and the flu at the same time. Didn't even know that was possible. But I don't know, just that retreat just poured so much into me that I have really felt the best I have felt since my stroke last year, since the retreat. Knock on wood. I have stitched. I've slowed down since the retreat. I did a lot of bigger stitching through the year with my 24 and 2024. And I think I just kind of hit kind of a stitchy wall. I haven't stitched a lot lately because my friends in a cross stitch Zoom decided to do a quilt. And y'all know I can't say no to save my life. So I am starting a beginning quilting course next Tuesday, which is kind of neat to get out of the house. I found a quilt shop in town. That was a rabbit hole I didn't need to go down. And then my friends laughed and my husband, because every day there's another fat quarter bundle or layer cake or other things coming in the mail, and rulers and stuff. Like, I've bought all the accoutrements, but I don't quilt. I know I hear some of y'all yelling through the screen. I also started baking and cooking from scratch again this summer, which has been fun. And we've been doing some home remodeling. So all that to say that I've done a lot, but maybe not that much stitching lately. So y'all send me some Stitchy Vibes. Also, I had not purchased a lot of cross stitch over probably the last 6 months until about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I don't know if the quilting shopping inspired me or what, but I have quite a few packages of cross stitching stuff to show y'all too. But I decided, since I hadn't filmed in a while, so I can't really do starts and finishes and whips and all of that, I would show you some things that I have stitched in these months that I'm actually going to take to the framers today. And the first one I could probably frame myself, and I might. I had done this for Father's Day. I got it finished for Father's Day. My husband saw this at Nashville from Dirty Annie's and asked me to stitch it, but I didn't fully finish it. Trophy husband. So I may go back and finish it myself, or I may just take it to have framed so that he can take it to work and put it on his bookshelves. I did switch all the colors out because he went to Georgia Tech, so I did the Georgia Tech colors to kind of go with the theme that I have created for his office at work. You're welcome, sweetheart. So I'm taking that one. This was, I think, an August finish. The Grecian Urn by Avlia. And we talked about it in my What's in Your Hoop. I know that there is at least 3 in this series. And this was a kit. It came everything in the kit. And this was a 26 count, which I had never done before. But these are my colors. I love the jewel tones. So I am going to iron this and take it to the framer today so that it can go on my wall. And then I stitched this one last year. This was part of Annie the Proper Stitcher's fall releases last year. And I am going to take it to get framed because for me, it's not just a fall piece. It's my colors and I really want it on my wall. So I'm going to take that one. And then this was my beginning of September stitch. This was a Kathy Barrick. And it says, I myself am made entirely of flaws, stitched together with good intentions. Yes, ma'am. I am all of that and more. And so I definitely want this one on my wall. I used all of the called for colors, but her dress, this was all supposed to be white. And I just loved these colors so much that I just wanted the dress to be those colors. And I changed the dog a little bit to look like my Yorkie, except in all honesty, I thought about it as I was stitching because my Yorkie doesn't have those long legs. But I did the coloring and I shortened the tail because the tail of hers kind of whips around. And my Yorkie has those little, what do you call it? It's got a little bitty tail. I've lost the word. So I'm going to take this one today to have framed. And then Olga's Autumn Stocking was supposed to be my stitch for starting September 15th. And I decided I just can't do another big one right now. And Annie the Proper Stitcher came out with her fall releases from this year. I don't do really Halloween decorating. I do fall. But I fell in love with this. It's called Hallows Manor. And it is, there's 3 in this pattern. There's 3 different charts. I love monochromatic. And y'all know, it just spoke to me. So I'm going to finish this into a pillow. I just got it off the hoop last night, which is why I'm so scattered today, because I'm dog tired, because I went past my bedtime, because I wanted it finished so bad. But you ever go past your bedtime and then you kind of wake yourself back up again? I did that last night, and then I just couldn't go to sleep. And I probably should have done something productive, but I got on TikTok. It is what it is, folks. It is what it is. So I finished this one last night, and I love it. And although I have done more stitching since we've been gone, like I said, I just wanted to show you some things that I'm finally going to take to the framers, because I have not been to the framers since the beginning of June, and that was just to pick up some stuff. Her and her sisters were leaving for a trip to Scotland for a few weeks, and then it became July and we were in retreat mode. And so I have quite a few things to drop off at the framers, but to save myself a heart attack and my husband one, I'm just going to take a few things at a time again. But I will be right back to talk about what I'm going to stitch for my birthday stitch, because you know, Carrie Tiger Lily says we all have to have a birthday start. So I thought about it long and hard, and I've picked something. So I'll be right back with it. Did you miss me? All right. So I have picked Tulips for Rose from the Spanish Stitcher, my friend Trelly, who is in Spain, and she has an Etsy shop. And she has gorgeous reproduction samplers and originals that she has designed. And I'll talk about her a little bit later in the box, my boxes for next year. But Tulips for Rose is my birthday start for this weekend. I love a monochromatic, and honestly what attracted me to it was the fact that it was blue, but I am going to change it because it is going to sit in my room full time. And my craft room is pink and green, and those are my colors. I'm trying to manifest fall, y'all. It gets up to like 93 degrees here. I even did fall nails for no other reason than the fact that that's as close as I'm going to get. And fall for me is short sleeves. I got in the car this morning. I pivot here for a second. I walked outside this morning. I looked at my son. I was like, ooh, it's chilly. And he looked at me like I was crazy. It was 75 degrees. That's chilly, folks. But it'll get up to 93 degrees today. And then about 5 o'clock, the temperature will drop 20 degrees in 10 minutes. Yep. Happens every single day. And we will get a heck of a thunderstorm. So, all of that, y'all know me. To pivot back to Tulips for Rose by the Spanish Stitcher. And I said, like I said, she's on Etsy. So I am going to do this in greens and pinks. And I am going to use, I haven't decided yet what I'm going to use, but I know I want pinks and greens. I think that I'm going to do the alphabet in a green, and just what I do sometimes is I will do my initials in a pink to kind of differentiate it and let it, you know, make it personal. But yeah, and I know my dear sweet friend Kim does not like alphabets. I love alphabets of all kinds. So I hope you will join me in stitching this for my birthday. I would love it, and I would love it if you would go check out the Spanish Stitcher on Etsy. She's just got some beautiful, beautiful things. And so I will be back again in a moment. Let me stack up all of my purchases so I can show y'all. Listen, while we're on this break, y'all might want to go get yourselves like a sandwich and a soda, because there's a lot. All right, full disclosure, y'all. I'm not going to show you everything I've bought recently, because as I started to pile it up, I scared myself. So we're just going to have to break this up a little bit. And honey, that's just code for the viewers to make them think that there's a lot for them to come back and see. But really, honey, there's not. Love you bunches. So, first thing is, y'all know, my sister Annie put out some fall releases. And I had to have them all. So, this is the one that I just stitched, Talos Manor. And it comes in a trio. And I am going to stitch them, and I am going to make a little dough bowl with these. I am. So that's what I just stitched, Talos Manor. And then Jessica Sweetwater Stitcher is stitching this. We Gather Together. And then this one, Annie and I talk about this all the time. And this is going to be a little bit of my chit chat today. But there is room at the table for everyone in cross stitch. There's room for every designer, every floss tuber, every fabric dyer, every thread dyer, everybody. Yeah, we can always slide over and make room. And I promise you that just because a new designer comes on the market does not mean that we're going to stop buying from our favorite designers. Or just because there is a new fabric dyer, Lord knows we hoard. We hoard. There's room at the table for everyone. I think I'm going to do it in this colorway because I love it. And y'all know last year I got obsessed with turkeys thanks to Lindy Stitches. So, and y'all know I love sheep. So what did Annie do? She put a turkey on a sheep. Shut the front door. And I'm like 99.99999% positive that this is a Chantel 141 design board. But a turkey on a sheep. Is that not perfection? Isn't she cute? Y'all know when I do witches, I have to change the shoes to red. I'm not a huge Halloween person, but I love me some witches and some witches hats and witches shoes. My husband says because that's my kinfolk. And then in all things, give thanks. Yes, ma'am, please. So I have those to stitch, and y'all know I'm going to. And then, I don't know why I watch Brenda and Laura. I really don't. Because every time I say I'm not going to buy anything, and this is what started the buying thing. Not this floss tube that they just did, the one before that. They showed this. And once again, I paused in the middle of the floss tube and went to Acorns and Threads and ordered it. Y'all know I love me some hats. And I ordered the whole kit. I will say, and I will tell you that I never, ever do the words or like the scripture. This one says, blessed are those that mourn, for they shall be comforted. I could do this in memory of my mom, but, and I will probably leave this off too. I mean, I think it's beautiful with this and the middle. So I did. I bought the pattern, I bought the soitages, and I bought the Tabby Cat linen. So that was one, and it came super fast. I think it was on pre-order when they showed it, and I've already gotten it. I will say, and I've said this in the past, that when I first came back to stitching, I had like the whole inventory of DMCs, and I would not buy kits. And over the last year, if it's kitted, I'm going to stitch it because I don't have to think about pulling fabrics. I don't think about pulling threads. I don't have to go and order it. It comes, I put it in a project bag, and when the bug strikes me, I can stitch it. So I have started buying a lot more kits. And I say that to say that Farm Girl Dry Goods is fantastic at kitting things up. She just is. And of course, Brenda Gervais. So, yes, please. Yes, please. Do I probably have all these colors? Okay. But now it's kitted and I can go. I can go. Home is where my samplers are. Had to have it. Hey Pumpkin from Scarlet House. I'm looking, the reason I keep looking down is because I have sheep straw, 32 count linen from Farm Girl Dry Goods. So I know it's got to go with one of these that I've purchased from her. Or did I just like it? You know, who knows? Goodness gracious. Isn't this, I didn't even know it said that. Y'all, most of my patterns I keep in magazine holders. Let's not talk about how I have to store my Brenda Gervais and my Plum Streets. And then, who doesn't love a witch in a cloche? And it's ready to go. It's ready to go. So I bought those, and they came super quick. And then, apparently, I bought more. I love fall most of all. Well, I swear, I must black out or something when I go to add to cart. So I really don't remember buying this much, but I did. No wonder she sent me a note with a smiley face. I'd send me a note with a smiley face on it too. Golly dang. Did I just say I wasn't stitching a lot lately and that I started quilting? Yo. These were discounted, honey. They were on sale because Brenda Gervais isn't selling really well lately. So I just thought I'd help her out. And then, funny story, I bought this one from Farm Girl Dry Goods. And then I was on a website the other night looking at something and I saw it and I was like, oh, I'm going to order it. And then I thought, when are you going to stitch it? And I didn't. Thank the Lord. I thought I'd gotten out of buying doubles of everything. All right, that's all of the cross stitching. But now I'm into quilt. Well, I'm not into quilting because I hadn't even cut a darn thing or quilted anything. I've just bought. So they were talking about doing a swoon quilt. Whatever. Most of y'all probably know what it is. I bought the pattern. Probably shouldn't have started with a swoon for a beginner, but whatever. So I started looking at fabric online. And I buy fabric for my favorite things boxes, but from Riley Blake. And I know their designs, but sometimes it's hard with the little icon. So I Googled, and sure enough, there was a quilt store. Who knew? Close to me. Now I do. And so I went in just to look because all of my friends were talking about Tilda fabric. And Annie was telling me that Tilda was beautiful. And I was like, okay. So I went to the quilt store and I walked in and I said, I've never quilted before. I'm new and I'm just learning. And I thought the lady was going to trip over her tongue. She was salivating so hard at the sucker that came into her store. So I signed up for the quilting classes. And then I bought these fat quarters of Tilda fabric. And then I bought this layer cake. I hope that's what I bought. Just because that's my jam. I do not know what one does with a layer cake, but I'm going to meet my friend Susie next week. I'll do something with this. Right? This is a layer cake. So then I came home and I read the instructions, or attempted to read the instructions, the destructions really, for the pattern. And it said I needed 16 different fat quarter bundles, and then my eyes rolled back into the back of my head, and then it started talking about how many you cut of this size and how many you cut of that size, and then math, and then whatever. So from my friend Felicia, excuse me while I bend down, Floss and Blocks, I ordered this from Riley Blake fat quarter bundle. Does it say what it's called? I don't know. But anyway, I bought this because Jess Como Stitches said that this would be a good one for me to do a swoon with. So I said, okay. And this came right away. And then they were talking about Tilda fabrics, and they were showing some. And Carrie Tiger Lily said that Fat Quarter Shop carried Tilda. So I went to Fat Quarter Shop. They'd missed me a bunch. And they're probably thinking, why is she ordering this? She's a cross stitcher. But I ordered this Fat Quarter bundle of Tilda. It's from one of their new collections, Christmas or something. But it doesn't like scream Christmas at me. And then from Fat Quarter Shop as well, because I saw that some of the backgrounds were more of a solid for this, and I don't really know how to put colors and all of this stuff together. I bought, I don't know what you call this, but I bought this. It's Tilda. So whatever you call this, this is what I bought. And then Rika King turned me on to some kind of ruler for geese, flying geese. Because there's flying geese in a swoon. I could be making all of this up. So I bought that ruler from Amazon. So I have fabric and I have a ruler. The end. So on some of my floss tubes, I may show some quilting that I've done, or I just may show y'all some quilting purchases that I've done. But you know what that means? My craft room was going to explode before I took up quilting. So I spent an hour this morning trying to make room for all of my new quilting supplies. I didn't make room, but I have quilting supplies. So honestly, y'all, that's really a lot of what I've been up to. I guess it is more than I thought. And so we're going to take a little intermission because y'all know the pile is about to fall over. And then we will do some shop talk. So if you don't want to hear about the boxes or the retreat, thank you guys so much. I've missed you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your encouragement. And fingers crossed, we'll be back on a regular schedule. Before we get into shop talk, y'all know sometimes I love to do little chit chats with y'all. And I've always tried to be honest and transparent with all of you because we're all friends. We're all sisters and brothers. I've been a little disheartened with our community in the last few months, and I've pulled away because sometimes when you get into business and get into the behind the scenes, you see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And there's a lot of good, but there is some ugly. And I have been disappointed that as a community, we haven't embraced everyone like we should. This art form is hundreds of years old. It's all been done by now. We are designing with X's. A tree is a tree is a tree. A peacock is a peacock is a peacock. A bird is a bird is a bird. And a house is a house is a house. There's only so many ways you can design things. And let's not forget that the alphabets were little girls who had to go to the workhouses and had to learn to stitch alphabets so that they could wash other people's clothes. Cross stitch hasn't always been Jane Austen glamorous. So there is room at the table for everyone. And when new designers come aboard, we need to slide down and pull up a chair for them. When a new fabric dyer comes on board, we need to slide over and pull a chair up for them. When a new fabric dyer comes on board, we need to slide over and pull up a chair for them. And when a new floss tuber comes on board, we need to slide over and pull a chair up for them. And eventually, we're going to get so many at the table that we are going to have to add another table. But what a beautiful sight to look around a room and see it full of cross-stitch artists. When a new LNS opens, slide down, pull up a chair. When a new online store opens, slide down, pull up a chair. There are 4 billion people in this world, and while they may not cross stitch, they all should. But seriously, y'all, this is a hobby. It should bring us joy. It should not be contentious. It should not inspire jealousy. We should not be gatekeeping. We should be sharing this art with the world and with the newer generations. We got lucky with COVID that it kind of had a resurgence, and younger designers and stitchers found this art. This art has done peaks and valleys. I have been stitching since the 80s, and I have seen it. And I have seen it grow. And we all talk about all the time how we are glad that we are not still stitching precious moments, geese, and teddy bears, and back stitching. Do you know why we're not doing that? Because somewhere along the way, somebody slid over and made room for a new designer. Do you know why we're not still stitching with DMC only while we have options, even though DMC is great? Because somebody slid over and made room for a thread dyer. Do you know why we're not stitching on Ada? While we went back to linens, and while we have reproduction linens so that when we want to stitch a reproduction sampler, it looks old? Because somebody made room at the table for a fabric dyer. Y'all, we cannot continue to grow in this industry, and that's a shame. I want my daughter to stitch. I want my grandchildren to stitch. I want 700 years from now to somebody to go into Goodwill and pull one of my stitches off the wall and say, hey, I think I might want to stitch that. Because I'll be gone, but I guarantee you Goodwill will still be here. Just on my house alone, there's enough to keep it open until the second coming. So we are hurting ourselves as an industry. Subscription boxes. There's enough to go around for everyone. Nobody in this industry invented the subscription box wheel. They did it. Subscription boxes now have been around for a good 10 years in different industries. And even in our industry, there are different subscription boxes for different stitchers. But just because someone buys mine doesn't mean they're not going to buy yours. And if you have a subscription box, you let me know, because I will shout you out, I will promote you, and I will help you. And you know why? Because Carrie Tiger Lily did that for me. I've said it time and time again. I would not have the business that I have that allows me to still be at home and still be here for my children, but still do something for myself that gives me great joy, if Chantel Dimeling, 141 Designs, and Carrie Tiger Lily had not encouraged me and helped me and guided me. And they still answer my calls every time I have a question, and they still give me great advice, and my friends continue to support me and shout me out, and everyone else. I was watching Jess Sweetwater Stitcher today, and she was talking about Miss Flossie's having a retreat next September, same weekend as ours, in Arizona. I think that's fabulous. Oh my gosh. Y'all, check her out. I mean, I wish I could go to hers, but I'm going to be at mine. I wish she could come to mine, but she's going to be at hers. There's enough retreats to go around for everybody too. We can't gatekeep this. And let me tell you, there's nothing new in retreats. We all do them the same. So why gatekeep a retreat? If you are a designer, if you are a retreat host, feel free to come to our retreat. Feel free. And if we do anything at our retreats that you think is cool, do it at yours. The bingo game that we did at our retreat, I got from the Library Stitchers retreat when I went. And it was so much fun. And I asked them, hey, would you mind, because they were coming to our retreat, if we did it too? Absolutely not. Emailed me the link to where they got their bingo stuff, gave us ideas for it. Emma Baruby, who is one of the hosts of Library Stitchers Retreat, helped call the bingo numbers with my daughter. Missy was there. They have a retreat. Chantel was there. They do a retreat. Kim Gavlik and her daughter were there. They have retreats. There's room at the table for everybody. So can we not just embrace each other and support each other and be happy for each other? Please, y'all. It's all God asks of us is to love one another. I mean, y'all are poking at fabric every day. Get your aggressions out on your linen, not on other designers. So I'm going to get off my soapbox now. Y'all probably turned me off already. So, all of that to say, thank y'all so much for the love and support for the Fanciful Flamingo's Favorite Things bi-monthly subscription boxes in 2024. I've cried, I've said it before, I've said it a million times. The opportunity that you gave me and my daughter to work together and build something was more than I ever expected. My daughter's gone on now, and she's, like I said, she's working for her father in her profession, in her field. And so I've kind of been left alone to run the shop, which I can order things, no problem. Y'all know that. I can sit on a computer and add to cart all day, and I can make, and I love to make the boxes, and I love to curate. The back end is causing me a little angst because I am technologically challenged. So, and also, it is a lot for one person to put out these boxes every other month, and it's a lot for y'all. I don't doubt that some of y'all have pink boxes that y'all haven't opened stacking up in a corner, because I would. And I treat every box and every endeavor that I do as if I were the customer, and what would I want? And I've tried to make the boxes what I would want to get. Having said all that, the subscription boxes of the Favorite Things bi-monthly box will come to an end with the next box that features Chrissy, finally a farm girl, and Matilda. So the bi-monthly boxes are ending with the November box. But my boxes are not. For 2025, I don't even know what year we're in. See? For 2025, I already have the designers lined up. And I was looking at my list and I thought, how cool. I am partnering with designers from other countries, as well as the US. So I am going to quarterly boxes. So there will be 4 boxes for the 2025 subscription year. The first box is going to be Trelly the Spanish Stitcher. So the flamingo is gonna fly across the pond to Spain. And then for the second box of the year, she's gonna go almost fly around the world to Washington State for Becca Sambry Stitches. She's going to be doing our second box. So we'll be in the US for the second box. And then my poor little wings, I'm going to fly back around the world across the pond to England with Cosford Rise. And she's going to be our third box of the year. And then we will end our year in Canada with the Tiny Modernist. So again, there'll be 4 boxes, a quarterly box. There's going to be a few more things added to them, but they are not going to be themed by country. So don't think when you're getting Trelly the Spanish Stitcher that it's something about Spain or that the U.S. is patriotic. It is not. It is still going to be one of their original creations, and we are still going to curate around their design. I can tell you that Trelly's has done, the Spanish Stitcher has done the most precious winter scene. Sambry Stitches is a play on spring and a play on words, and that's all I'm going to say on that one. I know that the Tiny Modernist will be holiday themed. I do not know yet what Cosford Rise is thinking for hers, but I'm so excited. Again, 4 boxes next year. Along with that, I will be continuing the signature sampler box, and I wanted to show you the fanciful sampler that Little Robin Designs designed. This is an adaptation of an antique sampler. This was in the box that just went out. And this pattern will not be released until market. I want to apologize to everyone that ordered the box. Everything for this box was specifically made and curated, so that I did not take into account how long it would take the artist to curate a lot of these things. The boxes have gone out and the flosses will go out next week. That was my fault. The next signature sampler box will open for sale October 15th. It is a blessing sampler for the new year, and Annie the Proper Stitcher is adapting an antique sampler that she purchased. And these boxes will ship December 15th. Rogue Atomic Ranch is already working on dyeing the fabric. We are partnering with Victoria Clayton Silks, and her and Annie have already worked together and pulled the colors. And so Victoria Clayton is already working on dyeing those silks for the box. And so we are well ahead of schedule, lessons learned, on the next signature sampler box. Next year, there will be 3 signature samplers. These are not a subscription. These are one-time purchases. So Annie the Proper Stitcher is doing our New Year's Blessing sampler. And then in late spring, Jean Workman with Monticello Stitches is doing a sampler. And then our September sampler for 2025 will be a Spanish antique sampler adaptation from Trelly, the Spanish Stitcher. So those are the 2 things that are going on in our shop. Also, last year we kept trying to grow the boxes and grow the amount, and it just got to be too overwhelming for me. So for 2025, I am capping the boxes at the subscription boxes, the 4 subscription boxes, at 250. And when we get to that number, I will not be taking any more orders, because that Abstel is a third-party app that works with Shopify that I have to use for subscriptions. It's not the greatest app, and so we are tweaking, not twerking. I'm not a twerker. Besides, I'm too old to throw a hip, and I have bursitis. We are tweaking things on our end to make the payment process smoother for you guys. You will still get billed 30 days before the next box goes out. So when you see that bill come through or that deduction come through, you will know that 30 days after that, your box is going out. That was one of the questions we had last year. That is a lot of shop talk. My head is spinning. I don't know about y'all's. I don't like to end on shop talk. I don't like to really sell my stuff, because I don't want y'all to think that I am only here to sell things, because I'm not at all. If I didn't sell another subscription box tomorrow, I would still be in this community, because this community has helped me through some really tough times. The loss of my mother, my stroke, my illnesses. I'm actually supposed to be at Chantel's pep rally retreat this weekend, but my baby boy, I guess him and his bowling team were licking bowling balls or something, because they all came down with the sickness, the crud. So I am home playing nursemaid to him. My daughter's not feeling good, and I'm getting stuffy, but I refuse. No, sir. Satan, go away. Just find somebody else, because I am not the one this time to get the crud. I ain't got time for that. I have so enjoyed being back. I've so enjoyed sitting in my chair and chit-chatting with y'all today. I am going to make it a priority and a goal to come back and chat with y'all every week, because I miss y'all. I wish we could all sit around and chat in person, because I just love the one-on-one connections with people. I hope y'all have the most wonderful, blessed weekend ever. I love y'all all. Y'all don't forget to choose joy each and every day. Love y'all. Bye.